Good morning. Assalamu alaikum, dear students, dear YouTube followers. Thank you very much for joining me in today's session. I was receiving a couple of emails from my YouTube followers and some creators that Google and YouTube has imposed some tax requirements from your YouTube earnings. So, what exactly is that? And you might have received an email that said something like this, that we are reaching out because Google will be required to deduct US taxes from the payments of the creator outside of the US later this year, as early as June 2021. From 2021 से ये tax impose हो जाएगा, and that will be around, depending upon your country, depending upon your geolocation, it will be either 0% or maybe to 30%. And अगर आप लोग ये tax information submit करवाएंगे, so that will be according to the legislation, according to the government rules, वो उसके हिसाब से ऑटोमेटिकली सेट होगा। और अगर आप नहीं सबमिट करवाएंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली दैट विल बी डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम May 30 21 टू 24% जो आपकी मंथली अर्निंग्स हैं यूट्यूब की, उससे अर्न होगा। सो व्हाट डू वी नीड टू डू नाउ? In the next few weeks, you will receive an email to submit your tax information in AdSense. एंड ये मैं अगले आने वाले कुछ स्टेप्स में, ये 6 स्टेप्स हैं जो अभी आपको पहले से ही इंटीमेट करने जा रहा हूँ, दैट what you're supposed to do. And why is it happening? Google has a responsibility under this chapter of the US Internal Revenue Code, that जो भी बंदा यूएस की मार्केट से, if you are earning from US market, if you are earning from your content is viewed in the US, and उसके through if you are earning the amount, उसके ऊपर there is a responsibility of the US government that they collect the tax. And this was not earlier implemented, and now they have sent an email that this is going to be happen from this year. How will is this is it impacting my earnings? And for sure this is going to impact your earnings, because you're earning through that market. Your content has been watched by the US people and the North America region people, so probably uske upar it is quite obvious that they will charge you some of the earnings. Let me show you that how to set up this whole process. Okay, first you have to move to the address bar and paste in either adsense.google.com or maybe google.com/adsense/start. And you have to sign it with your official email address, through which you can get the access of your AdSense. For example, here we go. Let me get started. As soon as this page appears, you have to move here to the payment section. And from the payment section, there will be something that will appear, and that is manage settings. Click on the manage settings, and here we go. That's how you need to process this whole thing. Let's move on to United States tax information. Click here and manage tax info. Click here, and the next step will actually give us some brief information. To get the payments from the Google, make sure to provide your tax information. This will take a few minutes. There are some of the questions which will be asked to you. So click here, and here we get started. It will ask you to first confirm your email address and then the credentials. And after putting up this information, and the questionnaires that will appear. For example, I'm logged in, and what type of account is with this Hameed sir? Is it individual? Is it non-individual and entity? It is. If it is individual, you have to get to click on this, and if it is non-individual, then you have to click on that. Are you a citizen of the United States? No. Let me click here, and then there is a select W8 tax form that will appear up. There's a long list of procedure that you have to opt. Lekin, what exactly is the difference between W8BEN and W8BECI? Let me give you a little bit brief on this, and then we can proceed further. Based upon our these selection areas, the W8 tax form now that has to be submitted. So there are two forms that are available. One is W8BEN, that is for the individuals, and W-8BECI, ECI, and that is for the businesses. If you are in a country where the tax treaty with the United States, the government of the United States, that allows, and is there anything which exists, you have to go with this form. And if there's nothing like this, you have to go with the with this type of form. So let me go and start this WBECI form, that is for the businesses first. Here we go. The first and foremost name of the individual, and then the doing business as with what name. Let's suppose I'm doing this business as Institute of Freelancing, and the country is Pakistan. So let me go to this, and entity type, chapter 3 status, for example, is this for individual? Is it bank issued, complex trust, corporation, and what? For example, let me put up this individual. Here is the tax information, taxpayer information number, TIN. That is, to some cases, it is optional, but the United States ITIN, or social security number, that is the must you have to submit before proceeding to the other steps. Those are, as I was telling you, the six important steps that was uh, you can go on. So if you have your foreign tax information number, you have to put in here. And in other case, if you are in the north US region, you have to put in your social security number, or USIT, international tax identification number. That is something you have to put in here. Let me roll back from here. Let me give you the other options. Okay, so let's resume again from the first step. And that is, earlier I was going with this as an individual, and this time I'm going to submit this form with non-individual entity. Is Hameed Asghar doing business as? Yes, click here. Let's move. Name of the sole owner of the sole entity. For example, again, let me put in to my institute name, and I'm individual. What type of account is this legal? Someone's sole owner's name, and the name entered above, and that is to individuals. Click here. And are you a citizen? No. Click here. And then again, these two forms will appear up. So you have to go through either this one or this one. You have to start filling these forms. That is the second step. Now let me give you another step, and that is, let's go to the third part of this video, and then I'll give you the complete brief introduction, brief information about how to fill in this form. Now I assume this is the most suitable. What type of account is an individual, and you with a US non-US, click here. And then the select W8 tax W8BEN, that is for the individual. That is the form which you have to submit while clicking upon this link. While clicking upon this link, the new page appears, which will ask certainly some of the options, some of the questions, but there will be an additional information with those becomes optional. For example, USITN, this is now optional, and with this foreign TIN, this is also the optional. In this case, what you have to do is that you have to put in your business name here, that is Institute of Freelancing, and the country citizenship, that is Pakistan. And for example, now we click on the next, and it will redirect us to something different, something new. Now you have to set in your permanent residence address, so the PO box. In care of the address, you will be required to submit additional documentation, right? So let me fill out this form, and let me show you that how the next process goes on. Okay, so I have filled in my addresses and all those basic information, and then my mailing address is the same as the permanent address. So let's move to the third step, and that is the uh, WT8BE, an individual tax form. That is something I have submitted in. And are you claiming a reduced rate of withholding under a tax treaty? I mean, यहाँ पे click करने पे you will be knowing the US has income tax treaties with many foreign countries. Under these treaties, certain residents may be eligible to pay a low US tax rate or not pay US taxes at all. on some types of the income sources within the this is more about the tax territories. इस पे click करने पे you will find the complete list जो जो इस tax treaties के under countries आते हैं. So as we do not fall in fact under this category, so I'm not going to touch this one. So let's get back to this, and we are going to say no thank you. The UX may impose a 30% withholding tax on the permanents and the income. This may be reduced or eliminated by any payee. Okay, all set. Mm, let's click on this and let's click on the document preview, and that's how we proceed step by step to all of these steps. Let me hold on here for a couple of minutes. Let me fill out all those forms and I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, Ji, here we go. The fourth part, that is the document preview that has been done. I click here, confirm that I have viewed the all those text details, and let's proceed to the next, and that is the fifth step, and that is the certification. Certification, full legal name you have to put in here. For example, that's what my full name is, and yes, I am a person listed in the signature section, and yes, no, on my own behalf. No, no, I am signing on behalf of the person listed in the signature. I myself is doing this. So let's click I am person listed in the signature section. ठीक है जी? So let's move to the further details, and that is the last step: activities and services performed in the US and affidavit. Activities and services performed in the US has the individual or entity identified in the text identified sections performed any activity in Google within the US? No. I clarify that the service provided to Google is. Let me go through this form completely, and then I'll give you the brief. Right, after going through the point number six, activities and services performed in US and affidavit. That is something which I'm doing from outside US, so I'll select this. No, I certify that the service provided to Google or its affiliate will be performed slowly outside the US, and that any labor or the capital used to provide such services will be physically located outside the US. So I shall select no and tick mark this. And then the last option is the status change affidavit. Are you providing tax info for a new or existing payment profile? अगर आपने इससे पहले पेमेंट रिसीव की हुई है, यू विल सेलेक्ट दिस वन. तो फिर उसके साथ आपको एफिडेविट लगाना पड़ेगा. एंड इफ यू आर द न्यू वन जिसने अभी तक वो पेमेंट रिसीव नहीं की, सो I'm providing test info for a new or existing payments profile that has not received the payment so far. So let me check after submitting this, and that's how you submit the form to according to this US tax requirement for YouTube partners program, and hopefully this will submit, and accordingly that will be listed, and as you can see that has been approved. Hopefully with these kind of setups you will very easily go and fill out these forms, and in case of any further query or help you can contact me at any time. If you find this content helpful, thumbs up, and in case of any other suggestions you can just reply me into the comments box. Thank you very much. Hope to speak to you soon. Up till then, bye bye.